than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that union be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor, white, purity and innocence, and the blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words of the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong landed on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe and on the thin flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on our U.S. Air Force, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedom that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict in lands and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we as Americans enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one and all. Long may it wave. Thank you, Color Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, this time it's my pleasure to present to you Master Sergeant Jenny D. Smith, United States Air Force, retired.
Well, I said I wouldn't cry during my wedding. It was a lie. I said I wouldn't cry today. It was almost a lie. But I've taken steps to prevent myself from crying during my brief, or speech. So, sorry, I'm still. So, without further ado, of the most manly airmen in the audience, please stand up. Ah, yes. And now we will begin my retirement speech.
First, I want to say thank you to my maker. Dear tiny, chubby God of your choice, in your golden fleece diapers, with your tiny little fat, balled up fist pawing at the air, wearing your cute little Oshkosh sandals, your baby stubble beard, or smooth shaven face with long flowing hair, or bald head and maybe a big round belly. Thank you for giving my parents the foresight to plan me after the 2 previous accidents known as my brother and sister, 11 and 8 years earlier. Thank you for my children, Christian, Katie, Canyon, and Kaylee, and my smoking hot wife, Diana. Thank you for giving me an abundance of opportunities throughout my career and my life, and a mediocre football team and basketball team to follow during my time in service. It is worth noting that they last won a national championship the year I enlisted. Now we can start winning again. Ooh, pig, sweet. I want to thank everyone in attendance today. My mom and sister that drove in to surprise me because I am the favorite. Thank you to the Dunn, Staples, and Baker families for being a part of this. I want to thank Lieutenant Colonel Buells for retiring me. He was my deployment commander for my last Air Force deployment and was slightly above average on several days throughout our time there. He is also the youngest of 3 brothers. He has 2 gay brothers, and so do each of them. I want to thank Dexter, whom I am recording this for. He was there for me through my last 2 back surgery recoveries and kept my spirits up with his constant companionship. Woo, pig, suey! Growing up, my dad was a construction worker, lowboy driving, mechanicking, welding, Bud Light and whiskey drinking SOB, and my mom was a sawmiller. I grew up working outside, hauling hay every summer, cutting wood every fall, and my first job was tail ending at a sawmill when I was 14. One summer, my brother was the head sawyer, and I was the log turner, and our goal was to see how many tail end guys we could burn out over the summer. It was some of the hardest work I'd ever done, but we were very successful. Life was so simple back then. Woo, pig, suey, Razorbacks! I came into the Air Force Open General, hoping to either be a firefighter or a cop so I could work outside. I ended up getting electronic intelligence and have only worked in 2 buildings in over 21 years that have even had windows in them. I was lucky enough to be stationed at 8 different bases, to include Albuquerque, where I found my family and loved the food, but that place is brown and ugly. No, wait, that was my wife's dad. But, so is I volunteered for a remote to Osan to get out of there. And where did they send me for a follow-on? Colorful Colorado. Except the only color is evergreen, rock, and snow. Woo, pig, sweet! I was able to deploy 6 times in my career, and as anyone knows, a deployment is one of the few places you will likely go in the military where you actually do what you were trained to do. My last deployment with Space Command was the best, but I only remember about a third of it. That was a 1.5 years after back surgery 1, and a month before emergency back surgery 2. And I was starting off each day with 3 Percocet and 2 Flexerol until I had started to ration myself. Napping on the ops floor became known as Plan B, and Jake, Eric, and I were professionals. I would lay down in the floor of our ops floor to stretch out my back and relieve the pain, and poof, the shift was over, much like a trip to DC with Chuck.
Nice.
Ooh, pig, sweet! The mission here is great, and the people I've worked for and with have been some of the best I've worked with in 21 years. I met a lot of great people over my 21 years and made several lifelong friends. I would not change a thing other than trying harder to be stationed in Europe at least once. I took this assignment hoping for a new challenge to finish off my career, but being a superintendent is a little too hands-off for me, and I look forward to the new challenges ahead. Woo, pig, sweet! I love being able to look out into my wife's eyes as we wrap up this chapter of our lives and begin our next. I met my wife and we dated for a 1.5 years, and in that time, I never even went TY for a day. We were married in July 2006, and I left for a remote in September, and then deployed 4 times in the next 5 years. I guess in this instance, the man was the one that was one way before marriage and completely different way after. I'm joking, but seriously, it's true. Diana was a single mom raising 2 young daughters, working 2 jobs, and going to school full-time at the University of New Mexico when I met her. And her hard work has lowered the amount of empathy I have for others that complain instead of just working harder, especially military spouses when their significant others deploy. She finally stopped going to college a couple years ago after wrapping up her second master's. I have not gotten to be around my own sons as much as I would like, but Katie and Kaylee have become my world, and I am so proud of the young women they have become. Having an amazing wife, children, and Dexter make everything worthwhile. In the words of Roy Rogers, this is not goodbye, just so long for a while. Woo pig, suey, Razorbacks.
Great speech.
You know, it still counts. Crying.
I'm not crying.
Allergies?
Yeah.
Which one has it cut off on you?
Got Thomas. I didn't cry.
Lord Hardwig's Bud Light. I don't know if that does anything.
Whoa. Now I'm crying.
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
Okay, well, thank you, Matt. Joker. Men and women of the United States Armed Forces, or especially of the United States Air Force, are proud to have served with you, wish you every success in all of your future endeavors. May God bless you and your family. This concludes the formal portion of our ceremony. Please stand for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Feel free to meet Mr. Smith, friends, and family at Lord Hardwick's, and I quote, for some fine Bud Light draft. Thank you.
Okay, so if you're going to do it, that's a hell of a way to go out.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got to say.
want one now. It's gonna
I love that.
Absolutely. They're so on the line.
Especially when he's up there like.